Alrighty, y'all. How's it going? I hope you're having a great day. We are finally looking at something exciting for me, that's for sure, as an American, big NASCAR fan. We're looking at 1988, the NASCAR Goodyear 500. Not the Daytona 500, not any race, as a matter of fact, in the United States, but the Goodyear 500 at the Calder Park Thunderdome in Australia. That's right. This was the first not OzCar or not anything from Australian Racing Series, but an actual American NASCAR association race in Australia. This was really exciting to find out, and I cannot wait to look at this video. This is an hour and 15 minutes. It's actually like basically the whole race. Or most of it, so I'm going to skip around. This was recommended to me by a lot of you guys in my previous videos. I'm really enjoying the Thunderdome stuff. I will move on to some other Aussie motorsports things as well because I always love learning about it, but I thought this would be a great addition to my Thunderdome series because it's really cool that it's a NASCAR-style track, but it's in Australia, and then bringing the actual NASCARs there mixed in with some Aussie drivers, some American drivers. I think this is super cool. This comes to us from a channel called Super 100 Miles Per Hour. Great channel. You want to check them out. They're going to be linked in the description down below. I highly suggest it. Here we go. Let's get right to it. NASCAR at the Thunderdome, baby. Here we go. Man, I love this era, by the way. Love the older era of, honestly, Aussie motorsports and American motorsports, especially NASCAR. These stock cars from this era just are awesome. Awesome paint jobs like always, liveries. Look at these spectacular crashes, of course. But I really dig the style of these. The 60s and 70s NASCAR stock cars were the best because they were actually kind of stock cars that were modified. But then, of course, by the late 70s into the 80s and 90s to present, they are definitely just tube chassis, full-on race cars. But they look cool back then. I like this style a lot, this era, late 80s. There's the legend, Dale Earnhardt. The old Wrangler, number 3.
Sunday, February 28th, 1988.
February 28th, 1988.
In Australian motorsport, as Melbourne's new $20 million Calder Park Thunderdome awaits the start of the Goodyear NASCAR 500.
There we go.
Super Speedway stock car racing makes its debut in Australia today, and the 25-strong American contingent includes Daytona 500 victor Bobby Allison, last weekend's Richmond 400 winner Neil Bonnet, and World 600 champ Kyle Petty.
Neil Bonnet
NASCAR
and Kyle Petty?
Damn. To the land down under, but that's not to say the Aussies aren't ready to answer a bicentennial challenge.
Hell yeah.
Road course regulars Alan Grice, Dick Johnson and Jim Richards head the Calder cast in...
Dick Johnson, Jim Richards, especially Dick Johnson. Wow, some Aussie legends too? I didn't know that they had the NASCAR from America come over to Australia and they had Dick Johnson in there? Oh, this is cool.
Company with sprint car supremo Gary Rush.
This is hella cool.
First up winners, but all are fast learners. The impressive Calder Thunderdome measures 1.25 miles or 2.01 kilometres with a pair of 24-degree bank corners. The Australian television network welcomes viewers throughout the United States, England, Europe, Southeast Asia, New Zealand, and coast to coast across Australia for episode 1 of NASCAR's Down Under Thunder.
Right on. Yo, I could tell even before I see the race, the fact that we have some, awesome fusion going on here. Aussie motorsports are excellent. American motorsports are excellent. And we have American NASCAR stock cars coming way across the pond, down to Australia. And we have a field comprised of some really top American drivers and Aussie drivers. Why doesn't this happen more often? This is really neat. This needs to happen nowadays.
Hello and welcome on the Australian Television Network to our telecast of the Goodyear 500, the first NASCAR stock car race ever held outside of North America.
That's
and of course
awesome.
It's being held at the Calder Thunderdome in Melbourne. A special welcome to our viewers throughout the United States and Europe. What a special event this is going to be for them as well. A great day here in Melbourne. A little cloud around, but otherwise sunny. South to southeasterly winds strengthening this afternoon.
Looked like a great day.
21
I wish I could have seen this live. I was not alive yet. This would have been really cool to see live.
Races are often won and lost in the shuffle out of the final corner after 500 miles of competition.
That's right. Drafting's really important. It's an art form, and it can really get down to the wire, down to that last lap. You draft, everyone shuffles on their last straightaway, and coming into turns 3 and 4 can get really hairy, really dicey. Who's going to come out on top keep their line, not get spun out, not spin out themselves, and come across that finish line in first place for a nice cash prize and a lot of points on the season. NASCAR is exciting to me. I know to a lot of foreigners, people outside of America, some people love it outside of America, and a lot of people hate it or don't understand it or don't get it, whatever. And that's understandable. I really do like it, and this is just so cool to see.
Thunderdome is the first NASCAR layout to be constructed outside the United States and represents a 4-year, $20 million investment by promoter Bob Jane.
Yeah, this is what I want to see, just the little history insert they have about this track. How cool for Bob Jane and the Aussies that they got to build a track like this. Obviously, it looks, as far as I know of the history, it didn't last. But how cool that they had a chance at this, at least, and that a NASCAR-style track was constructed in Australia. It's really cool.
Millions of tons of earth had to be brought in to build the circuit and spectator banks which surround the 1.4-mile tri-oval.
Look at the construction process.
Preparing the track base was difficult enough. Machinery had to be cabled to avoid toppling down the 24-degree bank corners, and the coatings of asphalt gave workmen a few anxious moments.
Look at how steep. People never understand on TV unless you go to a racetrack. I've had the pleasure of going to a couple NASCAR tracks and then local, short tracks, which are similar style for amateur racing. And I tell you what, when you get to walk on the track after the races, you will just not believe, if you've never done it, how high that banking is, how steep it is. I mean, you literally have to hike up if you want to walk from the bottom up to that outer wall. It is insanely steep on a lot of tracks. Of course, it varies. The degrees vary on the track, but the ones I've done have been really steep, and you don't see that on TV. You don't see that on camera as well. It kind of takes and masks that. But in real life, in person, boy, is it steep. It's pretty mind-blowing, actually.
Throughout the construction of Thunderdome, Bob Jane has remained adamant his super speedway would succeed and create a new era of motorsport entertainment in this country.
I'm inundated with people who want to kiss me and shake my hand and tell me all these superlative things about what a great racetrack I've got, including the American journalists and American drivers. So
I assume the Americans would have been impressed by this track.
We've done obviously more than we thought we've done, because the accolades from the United States, people that are here, indicate we've done better than we thought.
It's a beautiful place. The track looks nice. I started around there earlier today and had trouble, but I'm really very well impressed with the whole facility. It's a beautiful entrance, and the tunnel from the garage work area here into the pit area is something I think every track in the U.S. could use.
There you go.
And the place itself is just beautiful.
We had heard a lot about it, and it was designed after Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I've heard.
It's a lot more complete than I expected. So many the new tracks, they build the track.
How Aussie is that? I've learned from you guys. The famous Australian flies are just, this poor guy, they're just flying all over his cheeks. They won't leave him alone for a 1-minute interview on TV.
But they don't
How
build
funny
any
is
facilities
that?
with it, right, to start with. And here it's great, the nice garages, the pit areas, and probably best of all is the
Look at it. He keeps swatting at him.
Had in Australia. It's been great being here the few days I've been here. I'm looking forward to, a really good
I don't doubt
Sunday
that they've had a
race.
warm welcome. Australians are
NASCAR
amazing
and
people.
Speedway stock car
Really
racing
awesome,
today
really
becomes
nice.
A fact of life in Australia.
And they just
$1
embrace
million
things, man.
end of season event is on the drawing
I'm
board
sure
for
at the time
November.
this was really fun.
And for 89, well, Jane hopes his pride and joy.
Look at
will
those
host
cars.
the grand
Some
final
people,
of the Winston
maybe
Cup
some of you guys might
Series.
think these are ugly or stupid. I don't know. I love this era.
Something perfect.
Look at that car sitting there. That thing is freaking awesome, dude. I love these.
Clear.
I love these
These
old
are
stock
not
cars.
NASCARs, as some would describe them. They're
Right.
stock cars. NASCAR stands.
I've even made that mistake. Yeah, referring to these as NASCARs is incorrect. NASCAR is a sanctioning body, of course, that owns them. But yeah, it's definitely stock cars. These are stock cars. And yes, you can make your jokes. And even at this point in '88, these were not stock cars. That might say that, oh, it's a Chevy Monte Carlo, right? But we all know, looking at that thing, it's not a Chevy Monte Carlo that you could buy at your local Chevy dealer back then. This was way different.
for the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, as we have CAMS, the Confederation of Australian Motorsport. NASCAR, the body that presides over stock car racing, has almost uniquely bred a form of motorsport where performance equality is of paramount importance.
Yeah. A lot of rules,
No one
strict
brand of vehicle
guidelines.
is particularly dominant. However, the
I wonder if back then, '88, these would have been obviously all carbureted all the way up to like 2012, I think. Pretty similar engines, at this time it would have been Ford and GM. I think Chrysler wasn't around in certain gaps, you know. I think in the late 80s they would have been gone, and then they would have returned in the 90s. But yeah, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys might know a little bit about these. They're all small block V8s, of course, probably 350 or 358 cubic inch.
Classic Ford GM battle is alive and well, with Chrysler contemplating a return to the ovals in the near future. The players cover Ford's sleek Thunderbird and a variety of GM toys, including the popular Chevy Monte Carlo,
That's right,
Pontiac Grand Prix, Buick LeSabre,
That's
and
right,
Oldsmobile Delta 88.
How about that, huh? The Buicks and Olds in there, and the Pontiacs. The disguise
of these chunky beasts hides a thoroughbred racer.
Tubular chassis.
Heavy-duty tubular space frame design ties together 3,500 pounds or 1,600 kilograms of car. The capacity of the engine is limited to 358.
And I know everyone makes a joke for some reason, like NASCAR stock cars are really, really heavy. I don't know, 3,500 pounds is not that much. It's pretty light.
Cubic inches, or 6 litres, and the way the power goes to the ground is regulated via 12-inch control Goodyear tyres on 9.5-inch rims.
Yeah, nice wide rims,
the
big
no-nonsense
tires.
rules work because they're strictly
high
enforced,
horsepower.
And NASCAR officials pay attention to detail, so nobody bends the rules or anything else.
Yeah.
If you think oval track racing is easy, then think again. Going truly fast is a complex problem to solve, as we found out during the World Touring Car Championship. But what of the real thing?
I'll tell you what, it's a deal where you prepare the
Oh
race
my
car,
God, look at the young Michael Waltrip. Holy smokes, in full-on 80s. Full-on 80s hair. Holy crap.
together and works real hard. And once you go out there in that race
Tell
car,
me it's the
you're on your
80s
own,
without
more or
telling me
less.
it's the 80s.
There's 30 guys you want to beat, and it doesn't matter who you're racing against. You don't want to finish second. What makes it so great for the fans, though, the guy inside of that race car is driving a car they can purchase and drive down the street.
Well, it's the body of rules.
And there you have it. The whole it went on Sunday, so on Monday. Yeah, I suppose they're still repping Chevy and Buick and Ford. But like I said before, if Michael Waltrip there wins in a Chevy Monte Carlo, the Monte Carlo you're going to find at the dealership, unfortunately, is nothing like the stock car you saw on the track the day before. That's just my take. This is so cool for me to see some Aussies behind the wheel, left-hand drive, going around the Thunderdome the way I'm used to, taking left turns, as it was pretty bizarre seeing Oz cars go around taking right turns. So yeah, this is just surreal. I think it's really cool though. The fusion aspect is fun. Every once in a while, you know.
Not so fortunate was NASCAR veteran Dave Marcus in the 71 Chevrolet. He was 8th quick on Friday, but this wild slide put paid to his chances, and he was bumped 7 positions.
Dang.
Bobby Allison.
Okay, so final qualifying results. Yeah, we have Bonnet on the pole, Bobby Ellison 2nd, Alan Grice 3rd, Robin Best 4th, and Ron Esau
in the Buick. Row 2 is the Aussie connection. Grice from 3 and Robin Best from 4. Position 5 is Californian Ron Esau. 6, David Sosby in the Ford. 7, Chicago's Bill Venturini.
Chicago,
8,
woo
the
woo.
Medicare Master, 60-year-old Herschel McGriff. 9 is Gary Collins in an Oldsmobile. And 10, Summer McKnight's Thunderbird.
Oh my God. There we have it. This is something I could safely say I've never seen at a NASCAR event. We are in the pits getting ready to start them engines and go green, and we have a kangaroo in the pits. This is so Aussie. I freaking love it.
To cross down, and I think it's only fitting that Bob Jane will give the signal, the starting command for the cars to come out on the racetrack. For 280 circuits here.
Oh my God, we have a Confederate flag in Australia. Wow.
Goodyear 500.
I have seen it all, folks.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The 2 winners of the NASCAR circuit
this dang it, I skipped the firing up the engines. That's okay. So let's go ahead and see the opening couple laps, and then I'll skip ahead to the end, and we will get towards the end of the video. All right, here we go.
Under the control of Bill Gazaway.
88 NASCAR. Goodyear 500 in Australia. Here we go.
Slow one, obviously, and it's Bonnet on the inside, and Bonnet will get the jump. Bonnet is away.
Green, green, green. Let's go racing, boys.
Not miss the start. He moves up very quickly on them, and Robin Best, in fact, was very, very slow
Great
to get
start.
away. Bonnet will lead them through.
Great start from Bonnet and Valvoline.
Working the back straight.
75 car.
Alan Grice starting to pick them up as they head down there. Robin
Hear that
Best is the
thunder?
next one to
Oh
go
my God.
through.
The
Sosby
Thunderdome with the American Thunder V8s. Holy smokes. That sounds awesome. What a cool setting here.
Well positioned, so too is Brad Knopfsinger. Watch them work the bank turns now as they come in for the completion of the first lap.
God, I love the look of these old cars.
Making a challenge on Bobby Allison. Down through the tri-oval, the crowd has gone berserk here as Grice goes down.
Wow, what a crowd. That looks like almost a sellout crowd, huh? Almost. I don't know if it was, but it looked like a lot.
Second turn, working the back straight. The Foster's Oldsmobile with Australian
sounds amazing.
Going through up into second.
And for anyone that, you know, maybe I would assume most of you have not been to a NASCAR race. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have been to plenty of motorsports races, so you can relate to this because they're all exciting. But, man, these NASCAR races on an oval like this. I've been fortunate enough to go to a few NASCAR races in my lifetime, and boy, oh boy, do those things sound even better, obviously, than they do on TV. They really fly by super fast, unbelievably loud, and they literally shake your rib cage, your sternum. Like, you can feel it in your body. They come flying by, and you hear that. It just sounds like thunder. It's amazing. It's addicting.
Back out of the pits. What an incredible performance from Alan Grice on the previous lap through turns 3 and 4. Had the car cocked completely
that Valvoline car
sideways,
is a great looking car.
Got himself into a position to be able to
like that
Bobby
one.
Allison as they cross the line. We've got Bonnet leading from Grice, then Allison, Robin Best.
Bonnet's got a healthy run going.
78.
Decent lead right off the bat, and looks like he's flying around the track, taking good lines.
Black flag being shown to one of the competitors, can't quite pick up that number.
They are getting a lot of speed.
170
because remember, this is not a super speedway. It's a decent-sized track, but it's not huge. But it's got really banked turns. They got a great temperature that day, 21 degrees Celsius, right? So nice and warm, but not hot, right? It's cool enough to get some nice airflow into the engine, make some good horsepower, right?
Grice now has his chance to attack, goes to the outside, punches the brake.
You can hear that thunderous V8 from the in-car.
1,600 kilogram.
Looks like they keep fourth gear the whole track. That's good. So it's not a short enough track where they have to shift. If they can maintain fourth gear, that's what you want. But yeah, it looks like they are hauling ass. Like they are getting some serious speed.
Well, the pressure's going to be on Alan
and
Grice
carrying a lot of
Bobby
speed
Allison
into the
starts
corners.
to make the run down the inside, and here he comes. Allison in the number 12 Buick. Alan Grice in the number 03 Foster's Oldsmobile. There's our race cam shot. Allison poking the nose now of the Buick down on the inside of the Oldsmobile.
Oh, he got into him. The Foster's cars. Into the infield.
A park and he's skidding sideways.
No one likes Foster's anyway, right?
Absolutely crazy in front of the commentary box. Grice has
oh well, right?
Survive, but pointing the wrong way.
Yellow flag is out. Yellow flag out. Alan Grice.
Well, I thought it was Allison that may come off second best in that one, but
damn,
a Daytona 500 winner.
Yellow flag out. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and skip towards the end here. I would love to watch this whole thing sometime. This is really cool that's on here. What do you guys think of this? I cannot wait to talk to you guys down in the comments. Do you remember maybe watching this? Were you watching this and was it intriguing, just kind of interesting to you? Maybe you didn't have to like it that much, but maybe it was just interesting. Like, ooh, look at this, the famous American NASCAR in Australia.
Spot the number 71 car.
Okay, I'm at the last 5 minutes of the video pretty much here. I don't know what lap we're on or anything, but let's see if we can figure it out.
Allison is just sprinting down the inside this time of Herschel McGriff, almost a touch of fenders, but he'll force his way back to an inside run through turn number 2. Yes, he does just that. He catches Marcus out wide as they work the back straight. Allison, the tyres now working. He's on the hunt, going after Neil Bonnet. Blows by Dave Marcus as they go up into turn
nice
number
pass
3.
there.
It on the low side. Marcus sits in for the draft. And at this stage, as they come on,
yeah, can he draft him back? That's the thing. Can he reel him back in?
Across the line. Bobby Allison, then Dave Marcus.
So look, sounds like Allison's in the lead after all this time. Wow.
I wonder why so many of these cars are limping around at the back of the pack. If
he was good.
15th place, you've still got $7,000 to play with, and look at Herschel McGriff. He knows how much money is at stake. He wants to be a part of this first.
Ooh, wow, they are real close coming into the turn 1 or turn 3. I can't tell where we're at here.
In towards the tri-oval, Allison in the foreground, Marcus alongside.
Okay, so that was turn 3 and 4.
Disappearing into the western sunset. He'll
Bonnet. Can he make it 2 wins in 2 weekends in a row?
Oh, Bonnet's still in first? Wow, after all this time, I skipped way ahead. Bonnet's still in first, and he's got a considerable lead. Clearly, he was having an excellent day. And that Valvoline Pontiac was tuned up damn right, I guess, right?
$2,000 if he can pick a win, or 59,000
I love these cars, too, after they got some scrapes on them, some dirt, some grime. They look good. They look good used up, man. Got some miles on them, right?
Yet again, Allison, the man on the chart.
That thing sounds healthy. Let's get real. That thing sounds really healthy.
A long way back to Dave Marcus, who runs in third. In fact, Marcus has dropped off the pace appreciably in the last couple of laps. And here's the man that has done everything right in Australia, the land down under for the Goodyear 500. Sweeps down the back straight.
Gap is back to 1.2 seconds.
1.2 second gap, so he's really got a good lead.
As they come out of there down through
then again, he's got Allison on him.
With 2 laps to go.
And that's a really, really good driver. So
with just over 3
it ain't over yet.
To go, and a wreck coming out of turn 4. JC Danielson spins.
Is it going to be a yellow?
Will come out, or will it? If he can clear the circuit, it may not in fact come out.
No, I think he's okay. He's
no yellow.
Back out onto the racetrack, and I don't think he's left any oil or debris up there. That would have been a cruel blow for Bobby Allison, who has really stalked Neil Bonnet. We're waiting for the white flag. It's coming out. The Goodyear 500.
Yeah, otherwise it would have been a green-white checker, but
and we have Bobby Allison
no yellow.
Closing.
Last lap. Okay, here we go. Last lap.
Bonnet
Bonnet's got a considerable lead in that Valvoline Pontiac.
Half a second, 0.56 separating them as they make the run down the back straight for the last
time. Got some traffic to get through. Is it going to play a factor? Let's see. Coming into turns 3 and 4.
Neil Bonnet driving for the Raymont Valvoline team.
If anything, that traffic just slowed up Allison back there, coming in on entry.
Ready to jump. Turn 4 out, down through the tri-oval. The checkered flag is at the ready, and Neil Bonnet and the Valvoline.
There we go, Neil Bonnet.
Second place will go to Bobby Allison in the
wow, what a race. From what I saw. Started out on the pole, finished on the pole. Finished in first. That's a hell of a day. There we go. Bonnet, Allison, Dave Marcus, McKnight, Struber.
Bonnet from Alabama. Second.
Or Stewer, sorry.
Bobby Allison of Alabama. Third, Dave Marcus. Fourth spot going to Summer McKnight, a great drive. And fifth to Glenn Sturrow.
All GMs up there, so
let's get you guys
shout out
here,
to GM that day, huh?
Hey, congratulations, Neil. You're really on a roll. One at Richmond and now here in Australia. What kind of a day was it for you?
Well, it wasn't as easy as it looked like. Bobby got awful good when the race started. He's an expert at setting a chassis in hot weather, and Bobby had his car in good shape, but my guys just kept coming back every time we'd pit and work on the car. You know, first thing I want to do is thank these Australian people for being so nice to us over here. We've had a good time.
What about that big crash?
How cool.
Were you close?
How cool is this, guys? How cool. Love it when two nations that are awesome and have a rich history in sports and motorsports can come together for a collaboration like this. This is really cool.
No, but they called me on the radio and said it's a bad wreck. How's Alan Grice and those guys? Everybody okay?
He's got a broken collarbone. Other than that, he's okay.
No.
Well, I hate to hear that for Alan, but I'm glad everybody's not hurt any worse than that.
Okay, congratulations, Neil. But let me get a word here with Bobby. Bobby, you're huffing and puffing, huh? Yeah, Chris, you know, it was a hard run there at the end. You know, we were just trying our best to catch up with Neil, and he had a little too much stuff for us there at the end. What about the track?
Yeah, Neil Bonnet had that car dialed in. That's for sure.
Did it get better as the race wore on?
Yeah, the track was good. It's bumpy, and the rise going in the corner gave the guys a lot of trouble. But it's a nice track, and Bob Jane deserves a lot of credit for putting this thing together down here.
How about that big crash, Bobby? Were you near that?
No, fortunately I was ahead of it, so I didn't see anything of what happened.
Okay, congratulations and good luck to you. Let's get a hold of Dave Marcus over here. Dave?
There we go, guys. I'm going to cut it there. But that is a brief look at the first 1988 NASCAR Goodyear 500 at the Australian Calder Park Thunderdome in Melbourne. How cool is that? Thank you to all you guys for educating me in the last couple weeks about the Thunderdome. I will be looking at a couple more videos from here for suggestions from you guys and maybe looking at a video of seeing what it's like today, checking it out on Google Earth, stuff like that. I tell you what, it's been really fun to learn about, and the fact that OzCar was a thing is so awesome. The thing that NASCAR came down from America to Australia for this is another awesome thing. Really, really fun to learn about. So I really hope you enjoyed that. Let's talk about it in the comments. Tell me your stories. Tell me your thoughts. And please give a thumbs up on this video. I had a lot of fun with this one. So please help the video out with a like. I would appreciate it. Subscribe. We're so close to 50K. We're so close, guys. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I guarantee it'll be worth it for you. It is free after all. And with that being said, guys, check that description out. This original video from Super 100 Miles Per Hour will be linked down there, as well as other ways you can interact with my channel. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Till next time, guys. I'll catch you later.